I thought this was a really, really interesting component in this whole kind of free speech cancellation debate. Andrew, you were talking about cancellation. Jon Gruden, former NFL coach, famous NFL coach, won a Super Bowl with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, got a win at the Nevada Supreme Court. What happened, if we set this story up really quickly, is in 2001, there was an investigation into the Washington Redskins, or the Commanders, whatever they changed their name to. And in that investigation, some emails that Jon Gruden had sent got leaked. Now, the emails were said to be racist and homophobic, although they were never actually released in their entirety. It's just kind of hearsay. That caused Jon Gruden to have to retire or resign from the team, and therefore he sued the NFL saying, hey, these didn't need to be leaked. They were selectively leaked. All of that is to say, the NFL usually handles this with arbitration. The Nevada Supreme Court said, nope, you can't do that. You got to do it in an open court, and that's how they're going to handle it. Overall, Andrew, what do you think about the leaking of private emails that has been done at the government level for political purposes? We've just seen the alleged allegations against Adam Schiff, all the way down to the cultural element where it's happening in the NFL. How do we as society kind of navigate this weird kind of, you did say it, but it was in a private context, and should that be released to the public? How do we move forward with this type of stuff?
I'm not a fan of the leakage at all. But actually, that starts to sound like a pharmaceutical ad. But I think that when it comes to this, let's leak the emails selectively, leave context out, etc., regardless of who's doing it. I don't think that it's fair. Once again, I'm not familiar fully with the NFL aspect of this story, although I understand the legal mechanics when it comes to him trying to make this more public so that they don't actually get sucked into the politics of arbitration. I think that is a good thing. Ultimately, I'm fairly certain that also these emails were written when he was an ESPN analyst and not a coach. So it didn't fall within the purview of his employership with the NFL, right? So that in and of itself, I think, should be an element that's considered as a legal element. They knew what they were doing. They wanted to get him fired. And then there's this kind of arrogance and bravado that comes with, kind of social virtue, where we're going to leak this. And we know that in the court of public opinion, because of the way the media is pushing it, right, is you're going to just get attacked and it's going to ruin you forever, which it has. He's lost everything after this from the article that I read. Yeah. And I think that there should be recourse. I don't think that that's fair. I think that it's very immature and frankly, it's weak, right? Like, it's a weenie move. To go back to my original pharmaceutical joke.
Not a fan of leakage. Andrew Gruel, right here. Savannah, from a journalistic standpoint, right, the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times published all of these big, long pieces, but again, never actually published the specifics of the emails. They just said it was homophobic and it was racist. Just on a journalist-specific side, how do you kind of fix that? Is that acceptable in the journalistic field to not? And again, maybe it's they're protecting him in some sort of way, but just to say something is racist and homophobic, well, okay, everything the left says is racist and homophobic. How does that square with the journalistic integrity that you try to uphold?
Yeah, I'm going to remove myself from this because let's just focus in on the mainstream media in the modern day. This is exactly how they operate. And you know what? In their defense, just being a white man in 2025 is racist and homophobic, apparently. So, he did it to himself by being born white, unfortunately for him. No, but truly, it's very upsetting to see that this man's entire life was ruined. Very sad to see. And from the journalistic perspective, or from the perspective of everybody who pushed out this narrative, I mean, we have seen this playbook time and time again. It's why, President Trump talks to the media the way that he does, because they truly are the scum of the earth, Joe Bob. All they do is destroy lives and lie. It's horrible.